Welcome to The Know. I'm Ashley.
And I'm Gus.
It's been a little bit of time. We're just about due for another No edition of Crazy Shit Analyst saying this might be the best one yet. Like, they say a lot of crazy stuff, but this is good.
I can't wait. Because, well, it turns out one Wall Street firm out there is not only criticizing gamers for how they reacted to the recent Star Wars Battlefront 2 loot box controversy, they're also claiming that gamers are far from overcharged for their content. If anything, they are undercharged.
We should pay more. Look, of course, these quotes are making the rounds and lots and lots in the headlines today, but it's not all as bad as it sounds.
It sounds bad.
Surface level,
It sounds really
real
bad.
bad. But the firm is actually kind of making some interesting points that people have been saying for a while now about the price of gaming and how at some point something's probably got to give somewhere thanks to the rise in costs of AAA game development.
But come on, it's way more fun to get mad at them and
yeah,
throw
it really
shade
is.
at them, right?
It is. Yes.
Because there is a lot of dumb stuff too. These controversial quotes came from Wall Street firm KeyBank Capital Markets, who had some pretty harsh criticism for how gamers responded to the recent Battlefront 2 loot box fiasco.
Now, sure you know all about the background of that because we've TLDR'd it several times by now. There's like a new video every single day about what's happening in Battlefront 2. But the short version is EA and DICE locked a ton of grindy progression in Battlefront 2 behind microtransactions. Fans revolted via Reddit. EA relented. It's actually way crazier than all that because now we've got falling stock prices for EA. They're down 10% since all this went down. Reports that Disney was so unhappy with how it all went down. The appearance of falling sales of the title of retail in the UK.
And according to KeyBank Capital Markets analyst Evan Wingren, yeah, gamers totally overreacted to all of this. Wingren said, in a note to clients, we view the negative reaction to Star Wars Battlefront 2 and industry trading sympathy as an opportunity to add to Electronic Arts, Take-Two, and Activision Blizzard positions. The handling of the Star Wars Battlefront 2 launch by EA has been poor. Despite this, we view the suspension of MTX, microtransactions, in the near term as a transitory risk.
He went on to say, gamers aren't overcharged, they're undercharged. And we're gamers. The saga has been a perfect storm for overreactions as it involves EA, Star Wars, Reddit, and certain purist gaming journalists and outlets who dislike microtransactions.
Okay, so to sum up what he's saying, now's a good time to buy more EA stock because despite this setback, they'll probably be coming back up soon enough.
They probably will, actually. Their stock has been on a pretty steady climb lately.
And gamers overreacted to this news simply because it involved EA and Star Wars. Plus, it was stirred up by pesky gaming sites who hate microtransactions.
No, but those guys. Don't worry though, it's fine, guys. They're gamers too, so they can say whatever they want. I mean, they can, but it doesn't, you know. You're not wrong, you're just an asshole. But of course, the quotes don't exactly stop there because the analyst then outlines why gamers are undercharged for their content. Mostly it has to do with the number of hours of entertainment per dollar.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, they break out that math.
Wingren said, if you take a step back and look at the data, an hour of video game content is still one of the cheapest forms of entertainment. Quantitative analysis shows that video game publishers are actually charging gamers at a relatively inexpensive rate and should probably raise prices.
Yeah, so he breaks it down thusly. When you spend $60 on a game and then $20 per month on loot boxes, playing for around 2.5 hours a day for a full year, it comes out to around 40 cents spent per hour of entertainment. And when you compare that to something like TV, that averages out to 60 to 65 cents per hour, while movie rentals are like 80 cents per hour. Movie theaters break down to like $3 per hour.
How often do you find a game you play for 2 to 2.5 hours a day for a full year?
Never.
I don't remember the last, maybe World of Warcraft, and I paid for that. Like, monthly.
Right, as a subscription.
Right. Okay. Anyway, Wingren capped things off with this nice little quote. Despite its inconvenience to popular press narrative, if you like Star Wars and play video games at an average rate, you're far better off skipping the movie and playing the game to get the most bang for your buck.
Of course, his scenario there totally ignores costs of things like, you know, owning a console or building a PC or buying a PC or upgrading a PC or paying for your monthly platform subscription, the monthly high-speed internet fees, and the games with the microtransactions just on top of that pile.
I guess I played a lot of PUBG. There's no monthly fee on that, but it hasn't been a year.
Not a year.
No, it definitely hasn't been 2 hours a day for a year. Anyway, okay, boom. This argument also assumes that gamers should be grateful when they're charged more money. Oh, because they're not already being charged more? It's a fairly tone-deaf stance to take, especially for people who claim to be gamers themselves.
Like, they're Wall Street gamers, though. Transactions mean nothing to them. They're the whales. They're the whales. You know what? For them, Wall Street is the game.
Nice. But as loath as we are to say it, there is some logic in a few of the arguments.
A little bit. Let's not give them full credit here, but there are some
away.
things that we should at least discuss.
You're right. And
there.
one of those things to keep in mind here is that we're seeing the business side of the equation and what it means for the industry going forward versus the gamer reaction. While gamers were thrilled to see Big Bad EA defeated in combat via the arena of Reddit, outside parties are making the case that this kind of reaction to monetization isn't a positive development for the industry.
Okay, so in some ways, the argument is echoing the case that many have been making for a couple of years now. We've brought it up several times, I think, for gaming to keep moving forward. At some point, something's probably going to need to change about the way AAA games are made or sold. One of the two.
And we've documented this at a couple of points on the know, but the price of games has largely been static for the better part of a decade, while the cost of development has ballooned to astronomical amounts, mostly due to the size of teams, marketing, and developing for multiple platforms.
Yeah, pretty obvious now that selling a few million copies at $60 each just isn't quite cutting it for publishers to feel like they're making a worthwhile investment, so they're faced with a few options. Either they can cut the size of the budget, which would then lead to rush development, smaller teams, potentially buggier games, they can raise the price of the game itself, or they can try to make more money after the initial purchase.
And of course, by no means are we defending the kinds of practices seen in Battlefront 2.
No.
It's just one of the symptoms of this problem that all of the AAA developers and publishers are trying to figure out together. Nobody wants to be the first one to try to see how an $80 game does in the wild, because you can bet that gamers probably wouldn't be too happy about that development either.
Still though, despite some of these observations, the analysis of gamer reactions really tone deaf. But again, they are coming from the side of things where it's the money that matters the most.
Oh god, I can see it already. It's gonna be an $80 game with $20 of microtransaction credits.
Ah.
Oh god. And yeah, it's totally not even taking into account all the other ways that gamers already spend money. It also doesn't fall to gamers to try and support practices like this in order to further the industry or help publishers figure out a way out of the hole they've created for themselves.
And all gamers care about, all that they're required to care about really, they have no obligation to care any further, is how much fun they're having and whether or not they feel the cost is justified. The publishers can keep trying to sort it out themselves, and gamers will let them know when they've crossed the line. That's exactly what happened with Battlefront 2. They said, we've been pretty accommodating with microtransactions for cosmetics, things like that. You get something like Overwatch where we feel like it's worth it, fine. You do something like this where it affects progression, where you're gonna lock it and make it grindier, and try and make us pay more to enjoy the game, not okay.
You're gonna hear from us.
Right.
What do you guys think of these Wall Street analysts blasting gamers over their reaction to the Star Wars Battlefront 2 microtransactions? Do you feel like gamers are undercharged? Let us know in the comments.
Do you want to pay more for games? And also, just a quick note for the rest of the world, we know you already pay more for games. We totally get it, and it sucks. But imagine paying even more than more.
More.
Yeah, for future updates on more wacky claims made by analysts, because, come on, they're kind of fun. In a very weird sort of way. Remember to like this video if you're new around here. Subscribe to the know.
Because there is a lot of dumb stuff too. These controversial quotes came from Wall Street firm Kdin. What am I, fucking moron? These controversial quotes came from Wall Street firm Kdin.
Keybank.
I want to say Blanc for some reason because it's like B-L-A-N-C, but I know it's not. Okay.